Hello, travelers. Just a few hours ago, Skirk and Varesa received some insanely massive updates to their kit and playstyle, and the new artifact sets might completely change how they perform. But that's not all. Beta testers are also hinting that Skirk might release earlier than expected, possibly arriving a version before her estimated release. In this video, I'll be covering all the fresh news we've received so far about Skirk and Varesa, along with changes to the new artifacts, the 5.5 banners, and some new features introduced in the third beta update of 5.5. This video is going to be interesting, so make sure to stick around. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the video. Starting off with Skirk's potential kit. According to HXG and Uncle Something in Chinese, Skirk is going to be a main DPS character, and her playstyle is going to be somewhat unique compared to all the other cryo characters we've seen so far. Just to give you an idea, similar to how Arlecchino brings the Bond of Life mechanic playstyle into the game. In Skirk's case, it's said that she will introduce a playstyle that focuses on switching between normal attacks and elemental bursts. In simple words, when Skirk has no energy, her normal attacks will gain a significant buff, leading to increased normal attack damage. On the other hand, if you use her elemental burst, the buff on her normal attacks will disappear. This suggests that Skirk will likely have a playstyle that forces her to switch between consistent normal and burst rotations. To further understand her playstyle, let's take a look at the new artifact set, also known as the Finale of Deep Galleries. It has a two-piece effect that increases cryo damage bonus by 15%, indicating that Skirk will definitely be a cryo main DPS unit. On the other hand, the four-piece effect increases normal attack damage by 60% when the wielder has no energy, and elemental burst damage will also increase up to 60%. However, after the wielder's normal attack deals damage, the elemental burst buff will be disabled for 6 seconds. Likewise, after the wielder's elemental burst deals damage, the normal attack buff will be temporarily disabled, leading towards a 6-second switch cycle playstyle. In the previous beta, the four-piece effect granted a 40% increase to both normal and burst damage, but with the third beta update of 5.5, it was changed to 60% for both normal and burst damage. With that, according to Uncle Something in Chinese, Skirk will be an HP-based character, meaning instead of using attack like other cryo DPS units, Skirk's normal attacks, skill, and elemental burst will benefit heavily from HP percentage, making her the first cryo DPS character that scales off HP. Moving on, let's take a look at the buffs and adjustments Varesa has received in her kit. Now, as many of you already know, Varesa will be our next Electro main DPS character who deals damage through a combination of dash and plunging attacks, and benefits heavily from them. As of now, she is considered the best Electro DPS in terms of raw damage output, even surpassing previous Electro DPS units in the game. As for the buffs, the first change Varesa received is in her overall base stats. Her base attack gets a 5% increase, while her defense has slightly decreased, with her HP remaining the same. At first, this might not seem like much, but since Varesa got a 5% boost in base attack, and her plunge and dash attacks scale heavily with attack percentage, this makes her numbers even higher. But that's not all. When Varesa is in her fiery passive state, instead of a normal damage bonus on her overall attack, she gains an increased damage bonus specifically for her dash attacks and plunging attacks, which she will be using most of the time. With that, beta testers have also confirmed that the new artifact set, the Long Night's Oath, isn't her ideal set in most cases, as it only shines in teams that include Shen Yun, who allows her to do enhanced plunge attacks. On the other hand, in Varesa's overload teams, where pyro characters like Chevreuse were a must-carry, the Obsidian Codex set performs slightly better compared to her signature set. While Varesa's overload team is a unique option, I personally think most people will prefer to use her in a quick and plunge team, which is said to be her ideal team so far. Now, let's take a look at the banner lineup for version 5.5. In the first phase, we're getting Varesa as our new Electro 5-star character, followed by Shen Yun as a rerun candidate. This makes her quite fitting, since she'll serve Varesa as her 5-star support unit. In the second phase, we're getting Venti as the Archon rerun. followed by Xylonin as the rerun candidate. This banner lineup has been confirmed by several reliable sources, so there's a pretty high chance we might see the actual results in the live stream as well. With that, here's the list of all the 4-star characters that will be featured on these banners. Right now, some sources are suggesting that Ianson might appear in the first phase of the banner, since there's not any other new 5-star in the second phase that she could appear with, so it is more likely that Ianson will rerun in the first phase. Now, let's take a look at some new features and events, quality of life updates, and the Abyss resets we're getting in version 5.5. Starting off with new events, this time, it looks like the main event of version 5.5, also known as the Tournament of Glory and Bloom, will take place in Natlan. As a reward, players will receive a free copy of Ororon from this event. With that, another event coming in 5.5 is Artifact Overflow. In this event, players can obtain twice the amount of artifacts for the same amount of original resin. This event was originally supposed to release in 5.4, but due to some last-minute discussions, it got pushed to 5.5. Now, let's take a look at some quality of life improvements we can expect in 5.5. First up, we have the Quick Game Exit feature, which allows players to exit the game directly without having to go through multiple screens. Next change we have is specifically to the underground maps. From 5.5, we will get these new blue icons for different underground maps, including the Chasm, Encomia, and the Great Volcano of Talon. Next up, we have one of the most interesting updates coming in 5.5, and it's related to the Sanctifying Elixir. With this update, players will be guaranteed to receive 2 substat rolls on selected substats. Any artifact obtained through the Sanctifying Elixir will automatically roll twice on each of the 2 selected stats, making it much easier for players to get high crit value pieces for their characters. Additionally, the artifacts extracted from the Sanctifying Elixir will have a special marking and will be locked automatically, making it easier to distinguish them from the regular artifacts. Lastly, here's the picture of all the New World bosses we're getting in the Abyss reset of version 5.5, along with the new Imaginarium Theater. The 5.5 Imaginarium Theater is said to offer running trails for Dea and Venti, along with thespian picture poses for Wanderer, Ganyu, Xinyang, and Lisa. And that's a wrap for today's video. With all the exciting contents coming in version 5.5, along with new characters and exploration mechanics, there's definitely a lot to look forward to. I hope this video helped give you a clear overview of what to expect. As always, I'll keep you updated with more details as they emerge. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.